I'm steeking so that you guys can see that it actually works. It's not really that scary. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my little swatch here a couple of different ways to do this. Now the way that Adrian did this, so this is I'm just using my contrast yarn. This is a little Doc Mason's Honest Wool. This is left over from my winter traveler sweater for those of you guys who know a little bit about sort of the kinds of things that I do. And what Adrian did was she picked up her stitches from the back of the sweater. So what she did is she had her yarn inside the sweater while she, after she knit it. And I will allow Adrian, if Adrian wants to respond on Twitter, if she finds out that I did this wrong and she doesn't like the way I did it, she can talk about it. But so say this is your, here, let's use a proper knitting needle. So here's your proper knitting needle, and you've got your yarn inside your oh, hey, hi Adrian, I'm sorry. So you chime in and tell me if I'm doing this wrong, because this is what I think it was that you did. So she went in from front to back and she picked up her stitches. Yes, judging. Please be judgy. So she picked up her stitches from inside the sweater. And this, I think, is a really brilliant technique, because what it allows you to do is it secures not just your knitting, but it also secures the floats in the back of the yoke, so that everything is sort of tied down together really nicely. And you would pick up your stitches at the same rate that you would is if you were sort of picking up along a stockinette edge for your button band, right? Isn't that brilliant? Right, okay, so Adrian is a genius, right? Okay, so what I did, so I saw that and I thought, okay, this is so smart, because, and then she knit on the button bands. And so as you can see here, I have my finished button bands, and this is what I did, okay? So the hybrid version of this is, so I saw Ragga's, on Ragga Eiríksdóttir's top-down Icelandic Lopi sweater class on Craftsy, which was very smart and brilliant. And Ragga is adorable, and I love her voice, and I love watching her talk and knit and everything. And so what Ragga does is Ragga crochets. And she crocheted a very simple edge by going along, I'm going to put down my knitting needle, by going along the edge of the sweater, okay? And so you do this, and you get this wonderful crocheted edge, right? You have two, and you crochet. And you end up with a very secure surface crochet along both along the edge. Right, that's how you do it. Okay, so and it also creates a little bit of a flip, okay, because she secures both legs of the stitch at the same time. She goes from front to back through the legs of the stitch, pulls that stitch through. So what I did was a hybrid version of the two, okay? I took Adrian's idea of knitting on the button bands first, and Ragga's idea of holding the yarn, holding the piece doubled and using both legs of the stitch. And I basically picked up my stitches for knitting by doing this. Every two stitches every 3 rows. Is that like a little bit of a surprise there, Adrian? Are you okay? So, and then, so here I have this, so I don't have to hold the yarn in the back. I've got the back, the bottoms of the stitches here, and now I just knit the wrong side of my button band, right? And then you just keep going, you just proceed and knit your button band, okay? And then it's done. And then when you're all done, this is what you have, okay? So thank you. So it's all, it's just sort of constantly improving on the things that I see other people do, and adding them to the things I do, and we come up with a sort of a new idea. So it is easier, and it's so much fun. So what I'm going to do is, so here's my tape. This is going to be my tape. After I steek today, I'm still going to have raw edges that I'm going to cover up. And so I bought this. I showed this the other day, but I bought this to go in some sweaters someday. And I thought, oh, this is going to be kind of fun. At least it's a steeked sweater, so I'm going to use the scissors tape to line my steek. And I got my buttons yesterday. Here are my little buttons. So these are all of my little details. So I'm really looking forward to all of this going together, and I'm going to have a finished sweater, hopefully, before it gets too warm constantly to wear it. It'll be, you know, it's nice spring evenings. So there are my scissors. And here is my steek. So I have picked up so that my, my button bands are here, and I've got myself a little piece of cardboard to hold against the back so that I don't accidentally cut the back of my sweater. And I've got very nice sharp scissors, and I know that I'm going to go right here. Can you hear my heart is beating a little bit faster? So you guys ready? Give me hearts if you're ready. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you. There we go. All right. So I'm going to cut right up the middle here. This is my middle stitch right here. So here we go. I love the sound. Isn't that a great sound? I did, well, so did I do extra stitches for the steek? I'll show you when we get to the top. I did not do extra stitches for the steek because I did not start this sweater out thinking I was going to make it into a cardigan. So this is sort of an afterthought. Breathe. It's sort of an afterthought sweater, steek. So here we go. So, and here we are coming up to the yoke, where I'm going to be cutting through a couple of different layers of yarn, and it is machine reinforced. I mean, I did machine reinforce it with some machine stitching so that to hold down the floats, just because I wanted it to be a little extra secure. And when you do fold the sweater to pick up the stitches for the button band like this, you're not catching your floats like you do with Adrian's technique. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, so here we are. I'm just going to make sure I stay in the same channel. And as you can see here, I decided here when I got up to this point, that I was going to be doing a cardigan. So I changed where the motifs were a little bit to allow for, hey Amy, so I ended up with a couple of steek stitches here, and I just used, and the steek stitches are really just to hold down the yarn a little bit. And we're done. And because, oh, sure, but that would be confusing once I got to the floats. So that's why I cut it from the right side. So because I did this folded technique, when the button band is straight, it does create this, this does sort of point back towards the body of the sweater. And then when I sew my tape on top of this, I may give it a little bit of a trim. It will be sort of nice and smooth. Instead of there being sort of a ridge that's pointing outwards. So it helps the fabric sort of behave itself a little bit. So there you go, a cut steek live on Periscope. That's really kind of it.